St. Anthony's Friars, Ward Melville Patriots. It's a Friday night varsity matchup here on the LI Sports Network. St. Anthony's has played 2 games already today. They played a freshman matchup. They played a junior varsity matchup. They won both of those games. Now trying to complete their sweep of the day with a familiar opponent in the Ward Melville Patriots. I say that because it was St. Anthony's against Ward Melville in our last game as well. The Friars took that game a astounding 15-2. So needless to say, the Friars had the better end of that matchup. Now St. A's question is, can they get that done on the varsity level? Taking a look at these two teams, St. Anthony's 2-1 on the season. That one loss coming to the East Islip Chiefs. Ward Melville 2-2 on the season. So they're looking to get above that 500 hurdle. If they can stay above that 500 hurdle the entire season, they'll make the playoffs. And that's already an accomplishment in and of itself in this league. Question is, can they follow that up with a semifinal, maybe even a final berth? That's obviously the ultimate goal for a lot of these teams, and then to make the state championship after that. But I'm getting ahead of myself, as we're only a couple of games into the season, so those narratives are going to write themselves after a lot more time and a lot more play. But enough of me talking. We should be getting into action in just a second. Looks like our starting netminder matchup will be Valchich against Stemple. As the puck is brought to center ice. Ward Melville, a couple more commands from the bench about who's going to be starting off, and the puck is dropped. McFadden trying to get it off for the Patriots, but it's played over towards the boards. Comes out in front of the net and then swept aside quickly. St. Anthony's get it in deep below the goal line. McFadden with some pressure there. Taken up high. Sorrell, his shot. Saved by Stemple. Sorrell gets it back at the half wall, giving it up top. Mikletish with a little bit of room. Rims it around. Good stick by McFadden. He'll take it back. Michael McFadden now looking for the clear. It's sent high and out of the zone. St. Anthony's will go to chase after it. Icing will be waved off by the near linesman as the puck was rolling on edge. Did slow down a little bit. So 50 seconds gone by, still no whistles just yet. So nice pace to start off this game. Probably favoring the Friars. They like to play these games very fast, very high scoring if they can. Azariti trying to get it out in front. He's pressured over towards the corner. Wearing an A on his sweater this season. Obviously Azariti, a name I remember well from the Friars of last year. Puck flipped around the boards once more. Patriots look like they'll have a room to clear. Freisch with it. A little bit of trouble with the puck. Given away to Azariti. Couldn't drag around one more player. Stemple will get a paddle on the puck as it caroms down below the goal line. Benjamin Schleider trying to once again throw this puck out, but St. Anthony's just so tenacious. A pass was intended for a defender at the blue line, but a change was going on behind the play. So Friars, slight misplay right there, but they're not too bothered by it as they still have control. I got to bite my words as Freisch comes in for the intercept. Jousted off of his stick, and St. Anthony's will get going forward north into a 3-on-2. One back check coming for the Friars. They do force the play off to the extremities. Budicavoli looking for a wobbling puck, one of my favorite names in this entire Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Freisch takes it. Cavoli at the blue line, sends it back down. Carrasco will get a shot, and it will be, I believe, tipped by Stemple out of play for a pause. 13:39 to play in the period. So face off in the O-zone. Friars trying to get it up and out. Held at the blue line for a moment. Does slide through. Peter Kelly with it. Back for Budakavoli. His backhander gets it around to Nichols. Down low for Valcic. Skims it around. Dylan Schlitt. Passes the puck off to the far boards. It's loose, and now Ward Melville can get on top of it. Here's Declan Farrell. Fading off to the left side, forced away from the puck, and St. Anthony's take it back. Trouble, though, as Farrell will get it back. A quick pass to his teammate and ahead of him, but good stick work in the slot. Still a follow-up shot for Curley. That is an easy pad save. Now St. Anthony's can break it out. Potential home run pass coming here? No. Instead, we go back to the center of the ice. Zach Sorrell. Gives it up top to the blue line. Shot tipped out in front, still loose. No danger there for the Patriots as they're able to clear. Justin Norris sends it across to his defensive partner, now ahead. Elusive for Riggins as he'll avoid a check. Gives it towards the middle. Shot whistles off to the right side. Sorrell, sharp angle. Made it look dangerous, but nonetheless, Curley can clear for Ward Melville. Now in on the forecheck. Curley will get there first. Steps it out in front. A great save. Might be the first of the game for Valcic, following it up with a second. Now Justin Norris coming in. Last name of Norris, fitting for a defenseman. As Norris again trying to get this around the Patriots. Up to Azaridi now. Across, Riggins trying to walk through a flurry of green players. Gets the outlet pass to the point. Now across for some space. Miklitich gets his shot. It's blocked in front. I think Stempel ever saw that. Another follow-up, and he definitely didn't see that one. Friars bounce out to a 1-0 lead. So we'll take a replay of that here on the LI Sports Network. So you can see that just hit the back of the net with a little bit of force, a little bit of a pop. And St. Anthony's up 1-0. So back to center ice we go. 5 minutes gone by, 1 goal scored. Again, the Friars, as an organization, looking for a 3-0 sweep on today's games. Took the first game against Middle Country in a freshman matchup. Took the second one against Ward Melville in a junior varsity matchup. That was dangerous. Valcic got back in time. Now ahead for his forwards. Good defensive work on the back check from Inklin. St. Anthony still hovering around in the zone. Shot whistles off to the right side. Miklitich holds it off the boards. Circles it down low. Friars, another shooting lane. Block, Stempel. Thankful for his defense right there as Ward Melville will now go for a wholesale line change on the backside of this play as St. Anthony's can collect it in their own end. Outlet pass up the near side, taken in. It's Carrasco. He'll go off for a change, allowing a pair of fresh legs to come onto the ice. Lots of big hits around the far boards. McFadden with it again. He can really wheel and deal. Angled off his line of attack by Budakavoli. McFadden, a long pass, intercepted. So Budakavoli will get it in the end for his team. Friars back to work in the offensive end. Centering pass does whistle through everyone. More hits onto Budakavoli as he tries to find the puck in his skates. Pops out to McFadden. His tip will clear the zone. Budakavoli back with it. Backhands over to Nichols. Looks ahead. Friars, good zone entry. Semple watching the loose puck. His defense does skate onto it. Here's McFadden to claim it off the boards. Backhand pass, almost got to Curley. Schlitt to the left circle. Back out, Budakavoli at the blue line. His shot blocked by Curley, taken away by McFadden. Looking for a back pass to Curley, gets it, tipped it back towards McFadden. Now in a race for the puck as he goes down to the goal line. Centering pass to Farrell on a sharp angle. Didn't get the shot through traffic, pokes it towards the blue paint, and the Friars now able to clear. Dangerous series of events right there as finally we'll get a whistle, what feels like the first time in forever. One nothing still to score. It's been fairly clean for both sides. Obviously, Ward Melville probably wanting a little bit more ozone time right now. Get that equalizing goal nice and early. Rebound, there it is. Quick shot from Curley, a follow-up in front, and just as I say it, tie game. So this is Curley to start it off. A player quite literally not wearing a number puts it into the back of the net. I'll try to do some deduction to figure out who that is. But as it stands, it's the ghost of Ward Melville's past. So under 7 minutes to play. It's a new game here in this varsity matchup. Curley will definitely go down for the assist as he does find a loose puck. Send it out in front. That was absolutely lethal right there for the Patriots. Just not able to convert on the opportunity. So now back the other way. Shot on Stempel. Will make the first save. Watches the puck almost carry him back out in front. Now following it up with a second save. Slid through the slot. St. Anthony's looking for a one-timer. Instead it ends up as a clear. Could go down for an icing. Probably will. Referees will enforce it as such. So it's Luke Raheel getting that equalizing goal as Stempel will make a blocker save. So Luke Raheel, currently the player not wearing a number for the Patriots. He is number 98, as listed by the official roster sheet. His first goal of the season and an important one to tie this game up at 1 apiece. So under 6 to play now. Once again, Ward Melville trapped in their own defensive ends. Miklitish trying to get to the puck, sent it towards the slot. Ward Melville was first on the scene. Into the neutral zone now. Nice hit. It was Lucas Sherman along the near boards. Miklitish back for it. Banks it up. Carrasco Jr. tries to carry it along. It's glove down, sent into the right wing corner. Now batted out off a backhand. Room to skate. Ward Melville pass it out in front. Stempel one save. Can he get back for the second? No. Follow-up shot does go in. St. Anthony's back on top, 2-1. Rebounds killing them right there as you can see that one fly all the way out. St. Anthony's not going to relinquish control of the game that easily. Budicavoli back below his own net. Sends it along for Schlitt past his stick. Goes back for McFadden. Schlitt now trying to intercept the puck in the offensive end. Banks around, Curley jousting for it. Taken away by Riggins. Into the offensive end. Shaking free for a shot, then fans on it. Sends it middle. Tapped aside by Ward Melville. Still in the O zone, now breaking away. Here's Farrell into a one-on-one with Budicavoli. Trying to break past him. Drops it off. Over, skated by Inkland. Gets back to him anyways. A one-timer whistles behind the net. Karams all the way around to the far side. Follow-up shot blocked by St. Anthony's out in front. They should be able to break it away. And they do have enough space. Now through the neutral zone is Riggins, called offsides. So we'll take a pause with 4:09 to play in the first period. 2-1 the score in favor of St. Anthony's. Get some changes coming out from both sides. Face-off will come in the neutral zone, dot closest to us over here in the broadcast. McFadden in for the draw, staring up against Budicavoli. Or excuse me, make that number 18. That's Zach Sorrell creating a chance in on net. Flipped them in my head, 18 and 81. Sorrell, this is definitely him, behind the net, looking for a backhand centering bid, denied over to the corner. Sorrell up to the half wall, good juke. Sorrell now feeding it down low. St. Anthony's couldn't find anything there. Intended for Sorrell at the half wall, and it goes past him. So Norris going back for it. Sorrell, skate to stick, avoids the check of Curley. McFadden on the follow-up. Norris across, not out of the zone. Curley holding it alive, sends it towards Sorrell. He'll let Norris go onto it. Pass to the neutral zone, intercepted by Curley and dumped back in. Valcic out of his net, turns around to play the backhand. Cross for Daniel Smith. His outlet is denied, now just brute forced. Curley again on the dump in, comes to Valcic as he continues to play ping pong with this puck. Pressured right now, stays calm, that's always important. I may get more nervous up here as a broadcaster watching a goalie handle a puck than they actually are. Banked ahead. Sorrell towards the end of a shift. Fades off, centering bid as Aridi couldn't get the tip in. Sorrell forward again, big hit. That laid out Raheel. So here is that goal scorer. Benjamin crossed the blue line, taking a shot, ends up going through the legs. Ward Melville didn't have that extra skater on quick enough to hold the puck in the O zone. St. Anthony's a little bit of trouble breaking out there. Good dodge from Carrasco, gets it down low. Big Karam off the boards, carries all the way out of the zone. Carrasco with it again. This time flips it. Up for grabs as it banks off the left wing corner. Once again swatted away by Ward Melville. Miklicic will take over, sending a D-to-D pass. Ends up in the skates of Carrasco. As we're $1:20 left in this first period. Breakaway potentially coming here. Stempel was in a good position to shut down any shot as the puck did carry below the goal line. St. Anthony's not able to convert that into any offense. So he'll come back down for Valcic. Long pass, almost intercepted in front. Stoiso with a back pass. Now the lone man back has to beat out Farrell. Held in. Nope, offside, say the referees. So 41 seconds left. We'll get a face-off coming in the neutral zone. 2-1 the lead for St. Anthony's. Face off, heavily contested. St. Anthony's will come away with it. Given to Riggins, looking for a shot. Stemple makes the first save. Follow-up could come from the opposite side. Gets over in time. Shot. Hits off the low iron. Stays in the left wing corner. 20 seconds left on the clock now. St. Anthony's trying to poke it away from some skates. It's lifted high. Banks off the glass. Still in, though. Stemple with a little hop right there to get it in the glove. So we'll take probably one more draw from the offensive end. Off to the right side is Stemple. He'll watch as his team clears. 5 seconds left on the clock. Nichols is back for it right there as he'll do one more lap around his net. End of the first period on the LI Sports Network. We'll be right back for the second. And we're back for the second period. St. Anthony's nursing a 1-goal lead right now against the Ward Melville Patriots. Been a strong contested game through 15 thus far. No penalties, importantly, on either side, as it's been clean in that aspect. Opportunity coming right away. Almost a tap-in goal for Sorrell. St. Anthony's setting up a nice rotation right now. Azariti with room. His shot ramps off a stick. Banks off the high glass. Still in play. McFadden with it. Trying to get it up off the near side. Back onto the puck. Rotates it around for England. Sent to the far side. Curley will pressure along the boards. And Ward Melville do find the free lane. Shot. Broken up in some skates. Nichols was there for it. Rush back the other way, and just like that, Sorrell makes it a 2-goal game. Beautiful shot coming out from Zach right there. Snipes the top left corner. Justin Norris now back with it in his own end. Valsic tested. Was good for that one off a quick shot. So we'll get a face-off over to his left now. Off the drop, Norris trying to work his way around the linesman right there. Ends up with the puck in the corner. Banks it ahead and now cleared. Lucas Sherman trying to get his team going north. His dump-in attempt is repelled. Rattles around in the neutral zone, and now St. Anthony's gained the blue line. Pass out in front, almost a tip-in on the back door. Stemple almost surely would have been beat right there. Another wraparound attempt. Rebound comes off to the left side of the goal. Second opportunity in the slot. Both are cleared by Ward Melville. Valsic sends it ahead. Gets onto the tape of Riggins. Tries to beat a man off to the right side. Does gain the blue line. Shot. Hits a body in front. Rebound off to the right. Almost took an awkward bounce and came back in front of the goal. That would have been a nightmare situation right there for Stemple. Now he'll make a trip over the bench as a penalty was being delayed against St. Anthony's. So we'll get our first power play of the game. Ward Melville trying to get this affair back within one. So it'll be Smith into the box. Ward Melville to the power play. St. Anthony's quickly finding a clear. Shot onto Stemple. He'll paddle it aside and allow his team to get back on top of it. Stepping up in the neutral zone. Good play. Aggressive penalty kill right now for St. Anthony's. They have 3 eyes in the neutral zone, 1 forechecking. Pressure applied at the point by Kelly. He's beaten by McFadden. Pass out to the slot. And Valsic will get on top of it for a whistle. Much needed whistle at that. Ward Melville contingent trying to give their team some support. Puck given back to McFadden at the blue line. Banks it off the boards. Give it down low. Pass out in front. Valsic somehow tracked that. Sandwiched it between his chest and his glove for another whistle. McFadden. Down low to Curley. Backhands it. Now Curley gets it back, playing give and go. Pass up high. McFadden in the slot. Uncontested. Looking for a tip down low. Scramble and clear to Steid. Ward Melville will find a clear. Maybe a breakaway. Shot. Stemple. Good for it down low. McFadden back onto it. He has numbers if he can rush up ice quickly. McFadden trying to shimmy his way up the point. Gets it off to Curley. He can't weave through the traffic, so it's back for Azaridi. Azaridi into a one-on-one. McFadden low on gas as well. Azaridi on the backhand. Could have looking for a power move to the net. Instead wraps around for a shot. Snaps it high above the bar. St. Anthony's with another 24 seconds to kill off in this power play. Curley will sandwich Azaridi into the boards. They're not able to win the puck in the meantime. Sorrell comes onto the ice. His shot goes off to the right. Stemple tracks it as the puck dribbles out in front. Rebound. He'll step on top of it. Not exactly the position you want to be on the power play, though, as there's 9 seconds left, and Ward Melville have to take a face-off from their own end. 4:10 gone by in the middle frame. Smith about to be out of the box. Sorrell trying to win a face-off to kill the remainder of the time. Farrell swings this puck in. Skims all the way around the boards. Now St. Anthony's could have numbers with the man out of the box. Crash in on net. The centering pass hit a stick. Got out in front anyways. Maybe a third opportunity. Not into the net. That hits off the end boards. For a second, I thought that went in. To the blue line now. Traffic out in front. Sorrell couldn't get his stick on the shot. Does maintain possession. Good move for Sorrell. Lurching in. Drops it off into the slot. This is Budakavoli. Gives it right back where he found it. St. Anthony's doing what they please in the offensive end. Looking to hold in off the blue line. Sorrell, sharp angle, he scores! Hard to see from this angle, but the referee pointing out of the goal, it's 4-1 St. Anthony's. Did he go across the front of Stemple? I think he did. I was going to say, looking at that replay, I thought there was no way that he picked the top left corner, so it looked like Stemple might have been a little too shallow into the net and allowed Sorrell to go out in front of him on the shot. Under 10 minutes to play now. St. Anthony's with a comfortable 4-1 lead. Got room for another rush. Schlitt forced off the puck. Held alive for a second. Popped high into the air. Kelly comes down with it. His shot paddled aside by Stemple. Comes to the corner. Back for Kelly. Peter Kelly trying to make a move. Farrell cuts across the blue. Twists it off the backhand. Freisch looking back to Farrell. Puck ripped off his stick, and now St. Anthony's have room to skate. Once again, it's Peter Kelly. Late shift for him. Peter Kelly fans on one shot, then gets the second on Stemple. He's good for the save, and his team find the clear. Norris taps it back the way he found it. Rattles around, comes to McFadden. McFadden gets by one. Looking to Curley in the slot. Peter Kelly nutmegs one. Trying to bring the puck down low. Supported as well by a couple of teammates. Puck scurries around to the opposite side for Riggins. He again returns it back below the net as St. Anthony's try to find a way to clear. Bank pass is the answer. Inklin. His pass intercepted. McFadden trying to take it away right there. Sent up to the blue line. Back down low. Riggins after it. Ryan Riggins. Again down low. 7:30 to play. We got halfway to go in this game. Halfway gone by. Potential breakout for Curley if he can lift the stick from behind. Unfortunately for Ward Melville fans, he couldn't. Ryan Riggins with again below his own goal line. Has passing options up top. Instead he'll turn the corner, trying to shoot it himself. Finally gives it up, then it's batted away. Riggins again with it, looking to go middle. Supported by Kelly, giving up top to the blue line. This is Miklitich. Back to the corner they go. Poked away by Ward Melville, and it will clear the zone. Down for an icing enforced by the referees. 6:45 to play. 4-1 the lead for St. Anthony's. Curley off the draw, looking for an exit strategy. Sent up the boards. Nichols trying to turn on the Jets. Drags it around one, now leaves it off for Azariti. Sends a dangerous pass through his own slot, but the Friars are able to break out with it. Carrasco gives it off for Sorrell. He takes a shot, dragging it for a new angle, but regardless, deflects into the neutral zone. Sorrell with it again. Cross to Budicavoli. Budicavoli shakes free from those checks. Sends it for Azzariti. Pass intercepted there at the blue line. Azzariti with it. Right circle. Shot blocked. Takes it back. Looks middle. Has Sorrell there. Couldn't get the pass through traffic. Second opportunity does whistle through, but comes out of the zone. Budicavoli down below his own net onto the puck. Pulls up. Shakes free from a man. Carrasco across. Azzariti with Sorrell crossing the blue line. Lines up for a big slap shot wide of the net. Stempel was in position to make the save. Not a lot of traffic either, so low odds that one went in. Azzariti sending it up top. Shot from the right circle. Bounced over to Sorrell. Couldn't react in time to shove in what practically was an empty net goal. 5 minutes left in the second period. Puck comes loose in front of Stempel as his team will clear it for him. Nichols takes control, swings it for Budicavoli. Sorrell trying to call for a change. Obviously a second period change for a left winger, not exactly the easiest thing to do. Sorrell taking a lot of contact. Now will go off for a change as his team breaks into the zone. Almost a tap in on the back door right there for St. Anthony's. Lucas Sherman trying to clear. Couldn't get it past Nichols, now does. Farrell trying to collect it from behind himself. Instead it ends up with St. Anthony's as they break past the blue line. Penalty upcoming. Potential opportunity as Stempel tries to get his pad onto it. 6-on-5 skating, and now Ward Melville can touch up. So St. Anthony's will go to a power play with 4:05 to play in the period. So Lucas Sherman off to the box for 2 minutes. Be an important power play right here for St. Anthony's to really extend their lead. Budicavoli will hold in at the blue, walks right. Still holding on to it. Budicavoli back the other way. Recollects, still scanning his options. Sends it to the perimeter, gets it right back from Riggins. Budicavoli. High slot now. Looking for a shot tipped in front. Stempel had to make a save on his own man's tip. So Budicavoli, pressured by McFadden. Walks past him, now pressed by Curley at the blue line. Taking all of those hits. Rims it around, reaches the far side. That pass was intended for Budicavoli, instead carries. St. Anthony's, lots of O-zone time on this power play. Not a lot of shots to show for it. Now they try one from distance with traffic in front. Stempel makes that stop. 3:08 to play now. And $1.04 left on the power play. St. Anthony's will make a change, bringing out a new line. Budicavoli, the lone man to stay out there. Puck off the drop. St. Anthony's hold it alive. Again, try to cycle it down low. Caught up in some skates. Send it back up top. Pass intended, left circle. Sorrell couldn't get his stick on it. Now he'll challenge for it off the boards. Picks it there. Passes down to the goal line. St. Anthony's numbers. Azzariti, a shot. Blocker save from Stempel. Deflects into the netting for another stop. Allows his team to take a breath right here. A little bit of a reset. Get their defensive structure back. Terrell will come in for the face-off. One back, Budakavoli. Fades off to his right, passes right. For Azzariti now. Azzariti dances at the goal line. Sent back up top for Budakavoli now with the shooting lane. Instead, he elects for Sorrell. Takes a shot, goes bar down. Power play goal for St. Anthony's. They're up 5-1. Like I was saying, big power play goal to really push this game out of the reach of Ward Melville. Not that the game is over. Obviously, 17-21 is still a lot of hockey to play, but every goal you do score, if you are St. Anthony's, is just a little bit of pressure taken off you, a little bit more of a cushion, just in case of a disaster. As Kelly gets the puck, St. Anthony's rotated up the far side boards. Smith mishandling it a little bit, bounces around across a couple of sticks, finally popping free for Kelly as he'll dump it in. Sets up this St. Anthony's forecheck with under 2 minutes to play. Norris trying to pressure along the boards, but Ward Melville elude him. Get it up past center ice. Sent down low. Smith, good physical defense along the perimeter. St. Anthony's trying to pitch it out past the far point. Two Patriots players there, but they can't hold the line. Kelly with room to skate, drops it off. Stemple makes that low save. St. Anthony's find the rebound. Have Norris at the near point, Smith at the far. Smith trying to keep it alive, has Kelly down low with him. Schlitt tries to hammer the puck across a couple of Ward Melville players, but fans on it. Backed up. Smith once again pinching in off the boards. Under 40 seconds to play in the second period. Kelly with another opportunity. Dangles past one. McFadden chops at him. Norris trying to hold a rolling puck. That could have been very dangerous if it ended up past him. Norris to it again. He'll join the offense. Drops it off. Kelly harassed as Norris gets back to his position. Kelly still holding it there, finally broken free. Now McFadden with 10 seconds, caught up high by Norris. Kelly past the blue line again, looking for a shooting lane. It's broken up, and that's how we'll end the second period. 5-1 the score in favor of St. Anthony's. We'll be right back here on the LI Sports Network with the third. And we're back for the third period here on the LI Sports Network. Puck dropped at center ice. McFadden can't win it against St. Anthony's. As Ward Melville going to need to find any advantage in every advantage possible to claw back this 4-goal deficit that they find themselves in. Most of these goals found in the second period by the Friars, but they've been leading for a majority of the game. Puck just barely eluding a player at the far point. This is a breakaway. McFadden couldn't hurl in the pass. Comes back out in front. St. Anthony's find it there. Another clear for the Friars. They do it quickly and they do it often. Mikletish on the pinch in. Hacks at the puck. Still bouncing around, loose in the slot. St. Anthony's trying to turn this into a shot, sharp angle. McFadden there, bounce back out in front, and they score. Six to 1 now, the score line in favor of St. Anthony's. They're up by 5 with 14:05 to play. As we're going to get a timeout, so we'll step aside for a second here on the LI Sports Network. Be back with the last 14:05 of regulation. And we're back here on the LI Sports Network. Puck drop coming at center ice after that most recent goal from St. Anthony's. Now up to a 5-goal lead with just 14 minutes remaining in regulation. The captain, Sorrell, trying to take it past the blue line, thinks better of his options, so he'll just give it back to his defensive core. Tipped in by Azzariti. Again, this Friars team, the defending SCHSHL champions, taking down the Smithtown Hop Hog Bulls in 3 games of last year's final. A matchup in the finals that we've seen plenty of throughout the last couple of years as Sorrell gives it off. Budicavoli lost it in his skates, then dug it out. Plays it down low for Azzariti. He'll wrap around the net, giving it back up high. Shot taken by Nichols. Good save from Semple in front as he had a little trouble handling it, but handled it nonetheless. St. Anthony's, for a lot of last year, went undefeated in the regular season. Already with a loss on the books, that coming to the East Islip Chiefs, who in their own rights are a powerhouse to start off this season. The question is, can anyone take down Smithtown Hop Hog in the regular season, as that pass almost came out in front and does. Stemple on a scramble is assisted there, as I think Curley was the one who cleared it out. Goes the length of the ice and should be an icing. Waved off actually by the ref, so Norris is going to have to do this a hard way and carry it 200 feet. Finds a pass off the boards. Now the Friars break ahead. Kelly will hold. Back checked by Curley. Wild whack will clear the zone. Smith is there. Instantly rings it in deep. Inclin chasing after it. He'll be pressed quickly. Cuts off towards the middle of the ice, and a backhand will sleep it clear. A whack from Curley gets it into the offensive end, but taken by Norris. Forced off the boards and out. Now St. Anthony's developing potentially into a rush as Kelly cuts towards the net. Shot denied. Sits in the left circle, and now a pitch will clear the zone from Ward Melville. Patriots are offsides right now if they would have come in. Curley wasn't able to get back. Found himself in the midst of a couple of St. Anthony's players that intentionally, not intentionally, were holding him there. Curley skating onto it. Angled off the puck as it's now whizzing by him off a pass. Penalty upcoming as Curley was taken out from underneath his feet. And we will get a power play. Now McFadden will start off the power play for the Patriots. Face-off not won by Ward Melville, so Norris will be able to send it the length of the ice. Circled around now by Stemple, almost bouncing out into the middle, and now does. Curley on the back check, can't pry it free. So now the Friars will play some defense through offense, kill off time. Killing time is probably their main motto right now as they're still up by 5 with a 11:05 to play in regulation. Patriots have the onus of offense as they give it right back to Riggins. Tries to find Norris in the neutral zone. He'll just dump it in again to kill off even more precious seconds of this power play. St. Anthony's tenacious around the boards. Once again deny McFadden deep into his own zone. McFadden cutting off to his right, now finding some room. Coach is urging him to skate as much as he can. Obviously that's a message to the entire team, not just McFadden. Into the offensive end, and St. Anthony's once again are able to clear their zone. McFadden, good move in the neutral zone to strip it back. Has trouble breaking over the blue line, and St. Anthony's are doing what they do. Aggressive PK. 2-on-1 down low, pass out in front, shot caroms off to the left side. Curley can't break it free for his team. Puck sits loose on the blue line. McFadden with it again. He'll take a momentary breath. Bad pass from McFadden, though. Once again belongs to St. Anthony. Shot on Stemple. Fights off that one. Under 10 minutes to play in regulation. 15 seconds left on the power play. Puck sent down. Should be an icing and will be. And that might do it for the power play look. Just 11 ticks left. I don't know if you're going to break through St. Anthony's with those 11 seconds. So Mick Latish should come back out onto the ice in the same score that he left it in. Sorrell for Azariti. Dangerous below the net. Comes back above the goal line. Forced away, now cleared. Nichols taps it ahead. Is available on the return feed, but a lot of Ward Melville Patriots are tying the puck up in the boards. Comes across the opposite side. Azariti gets it, looks down low for Sorrell. Holds, wraps the net, looking to score. Great defensive stick work right there. Puck still alive though. Ward Melville do find it and force it out. Budakavoli with it again. Trying to give it off to his defensive partner in Nichols. Budakavoli shimmies free, now shakes up the ice. Budakavoli still onto it. Left circle, taking a shot. It's high above the bar. Carries all the way out of the zone. Back for Sorrell. Begins the attack up ice, trying to hit Budakavoli. Nice reception on the pass. Budakavoli past the blue line, looking for a centering bid. Broken up by Ward Melville. They'll sauce it out. Eight minutes to play in regulation. This third period has been low event hockey. Could change that. And it is. That's a snipe down low. I didn't even realize it for Azzariti for a second. It was so quick. Just how fast did Azzariti get that off? Beats Stemple 5-hole. Puck just disappeared right there. Play that one more time. So Azzariti gets himself a goal. Kelly trying to follow that up. A shot will go a little too high. 7-1, the new score. .736 to play in regulation. Still shocked by that shot speed from Azzariti. That might be something we need to see in the skills competition. As Smith looks for something on net, Stemple had his glove in the right spot, so we'll cover up for another whistle. Now, usually you think the hardest shot tends to go to the bigger defenseman on the slap shot. Azzariti maybe needs to advocate for a wrist shot to be in there, because that was a thing of beauty. Norris at the far point. Twirls it around. Kelly should be the first one to it. Pulls up on his skates, trying to find some room. Has his man in a spin cycle right now, but can't do anything with it. Puck rattling around, falls for St. Anthony's. Back to Kelly, centering pass, and good defense, good defensive stick work again from Farrell. Farrell up the ice. Diving around Norris, who is out in front of him. Shot, hits off a skate, stays in play just barely. 6:30 to play in regulation. Opportunity maybe for Ward Melville. They'll snap one on net. St. Anthony's not trying to give up any goals. Technically, all of them could matter towards the end of the season for any potential tiebreakers. Friars 2-1 right now, 4 points, 5th place in the varsity division as they get an opportunity out in front. The backhander from Schlitt will be saved by McFadden. Or excuse me, by Stemple. 5-5-5 flashing across the board as we're getting towards the dying stages of this matchup. Farrell finding some loose change. Bringing it up the ice, has Curley off to his right-hand side, but couldn't feed him there. Penalty should be upcoming, and it is. It's against Ward Melville. I believe Farrell was the closest to the play. It looks like he'll skate off to the box. So with 5:41, we'll go to a 2-minute power play for St. Anthony's. Face-off goes back on opportunity to clear for Ward Melville. Instead pops up high into the air, and St. Anthony's keep it there. Puck now at the goal line, down low, tapped out in front, they score. Make it 8 goals on the night for St. Anthony's, as this is a runaway victory at this point. Make quick work of that power play. 5:27 left now. Turnover, St. Anthony's back onto the attack, they score. A 9-1 lead. We'll get a running clock now as the Friars are up by 8 as they take a quick victory lap on the handshake line with their own bench. So the Friars will clean sweep the day. A freshman matchup victory, a junior varsity matchup victory, and now a varsity matchup victory without the presence of any divine intervention to break this lead. Curley could be on a breakaway himself, almost taken out from behind, and will be. His shot, he scores. Curley somehow staying up right there, breaks away for a goal. Drags it to the backhand, shoves it 5-hole, 9-2 now the score. St. Anthony's back to the offensive end. Comes to Budicavoli at center ice. DD pass with him and Nichols. Now they'll spring forward. Pass out in front. Almost tipped in. Would have been unfortunate for Stemple. Farrell now into a foot race. Couldn't beat Nichols. Now St. Anthony's back in numbers to reinforce their defensive zone. Pass out in front. Parried off to the side. Stemple making quick work of that puck. Directs it to the boards. Curley now battles Budicavoli for it. Sends it past the blue line. Farrell the first in on the forecheck. Under 3 to play. St. Anthony's maybe with another opportunity. England there will shut down any scoring. As I'll go and take a look at the varsity standings right now. Sachem also off to a nice start this year, 4-0. Smithtown Hauppauge, like I said, the Bulls doing great things themselves. They're 4-0 on the season. Closest game went to overtime, but still claimed the victory. East Islip, 3-1 on the season. Their only loss coming to the undefeated Smithtown Hauppauge Bulls. Northport Huntington, 2-1. They were the team that took Smithtown Hauppauge to overtime. Great game from the Tigers. St. Anthony's following it up behind that in 5th place at 2-1. Cape PC behind St. Anthony's at 2-1 as well. Ward Melville 2-2 on the season. Connect Sayville, the T-Birds, are 1-3, and then the winless teams in the varsity division of the Suffolk County High School hockey team are West Islip at 0-3, Pat Med at 0-3, and Middle Country at 0-4. So Ward Melville again. You might drop below 500 here at 2-3 now, but you're obviously playing one of the tougher customers that this league can provide. So you got to lick your wounds, get right back onto the practice schedule, get back for some more games, realize you're still one of the better teams in this league, and again, there's nothing stopping them from becoming one of the truly elite teams. It's the reason we have to play the games. We don't know who's going to win them beforehand. You can predict as much as you want, but you got to play the 45 minutes before you are a victor. So St. Anthony's, they'll say we're going to be the victors after these 45 minutes, as looks like we'll hold it at a 9-2 scoreline. 7 goals the difference. And I believe we still have some other games going on around the LI Sports Network. A lot of ECHA collegiate hockey games that you can go and check out. Travis Quigley over on the Division II Farmingdale State Rams game. Brendan Yerkes for New Haven Division III Ryan Brannigan, Division III for the Rams, as well as Brady Campbell over for Columbia as they take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Final score from this game here in the rinks, 9-2 in favor of the Friars as they take home their third victory of this young varsity season. Thank you so much for listening and making the LI Sports Network a part of your Friday night. We'll be back for more action over the weekend. And for now, take care.